Okay, here we're going to run through the process of creating a reflective journal, adding it to a page and sharing that with your tutor so that they can view your journal. So the first thing we want to do is go to Content and click on the Journals link. And in this case I'm going to create a new journal. Now if you do not see the Create Journal button, go to your settings at the top right hand side and make sure that multiple journals is ticked. If it isn't, you can tick the box or contact moodle@rcs.act.uk and ask for some help. So if we go back to journals, I'm simply going to create a journal. By default, I recommend that you put your name in it because it makes it so much easier for your tutors to find it. And that's it. So within this journal, I can just click New Entry. Now the title is, think of that as the chapter in a book. So give it a title to put into context what you're actually going to be talking about in that post. And save. To add a new entry, now we recommend that you try to get into the habit of posting entries to your journal on a regular basis, certainly at least once a week. Ideally put in a small paragraph a few times a week, and do that as often as possible because it will make it much easier in the long term when you come to collate all of the materials that you've written. And I'm just going to save that. Now I'm going to do one final entry here because I want to mention tagging. Tagging can be thought of as simply keywords that you can then search with and filter your content, both in general, and you can actually tag things and display on a page specifically things that have used only that tag. So I'm going to use a tag Moodle, for example, and save the entry. So now at a future date I can actually select and display everything that has used the word Moodle in my tags. So that's my RPG, the first few posts done. Next thing I want to do is to add that to a page so that I can display it. So go to Pages, create a page, and again I'm just going to call this Gordon's RPG and save it. I then have to decide what to put into the page, so I'm going to click onto my journals. The first option is the simplest one. It displays everything that you're writing in that journal and it will automatically update itself. The second option there is display one journal entry. It's quite time consuming, but it means that you can filter out things that you don't want to display when you've been writing about a range of subjects. Ignore the third one, it simply puts in the most recent things that you've posted. And the final one might be worth considering. That is where you select things based on the tag. So for example, if I used that, I could use the tag Moodle and it would show me everything that I've ever written that has that as a tag. For simplicity, I'm just going to add the entire journal. And the journal I'm looking for is Gordon's RPG, and I'm just going to save that. Okay. Since this is my reflective journal and there's very little else going to go into it, I'm going to change the layout of the page, and I'm going to have a large left column. I'm going to leave myself a little bit of space in case I decide to do something later, but that now gives me plenty of space for the text as I'm writing. And just click done, and that's those changes saved. Now the next thing to do is to share this page. So I'm going to click on share. If you share it with the public, that means everyone in the world could potentially see it. Do not do that with your reflective journals. You might choose to share it specifically with a group that you're involved with as part of your studies, but in general you will share it with specific people. So for example, all users, I'm going to share this with the admin account, but you would obviously be looking for members of staff that need to see your journal. So I'm just going to click add. This person now has access to my journal. I scroll down and click save, and that's it. They now have access to that journal.